Hello and welcome to day 1 of 14 Days of Christmas. MK Gunn and Janet Fritz, Galaxy Girl, are kind of got this together for us, and they're just doing on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays throughout the month of December. So even after Christmas, 14 days of something that is Christmas related. So today I have this wonderful Comfort and Joy paper. It's retired from close to my heart. And this photo, one more photo of me playing cards with the ladies that I golfed with during the summer. And I absolutely love how this one photo encaptures so much joy that these ladies brought into my life. So off camera, I went into my stash. If you've been following my channel at all, you know that I've been settling into our new home and organizing my supplies a little bit more and kind of streamlining them too. So I went into my stash and pulled out some of these old embellishments and things that I had. This paper is old, these Picture My Life cards from the Comfort and Joy set. So I'm trying to just use up what I have, and I just love how this photo with this paper works. This is one of the weeks that we went to one of the other gals' homes. This is Pat Martino's basement, and the Pinochle gals got together and played cards in one home, and the Bridge gals got together and played cards in a different home. I could actually play both Pinochle and Bridge, which the ladies couldn't believe that I knew how to play Bridge in my 30s, but my mom and dad knew how to play Bridge, and they taught my brother and I, and actually when we were first married, they taught my husband how to play too. So most of the time I played Pinochle because it was new and I could always play Bridge with mom and dad. But every once in a while the Bridge gals knew that they were going to be one gal short, and so they would call and say, hey, if the Pinochle gals are okay, because Pinochle was more flexible. You could play anywhere with 3 to 6 players, I think, at one table, so it was a little more flexible, where Bridge, you can kind of get by with 7 people if one person goes and does the bidding, but for the most part you have to have tables of 4. So I know I've talked a lot about what this photo is sharing, but isn't that what scrapbooking is about? We were fortunate enough to be on a vacation over Thanksgiving, and we went to the movie and saw the Disney's Disenchanted, and one of the messages that comes out of that movie is that creating memory trees, and it's basically a tree that has pictures from memories, is the most powerful magic, kind of alluding to that remembering the love that was shared really is powerful. And I think that's what we all try to do, is to remember these moments in our lives. And I've already forgotten the one gal's name. I know the other 3 and myself, obviously, but the one gal that's on the farthest left, I don't remember her name. She wasn't able to join us that often. I don't know if she was the one who was taking care of her mother, or if one of the gals that played had a mother that needed care, and the other gal had a son that was special needs, and so she couldn't join us much. But so it's these little memories that are kind of slipping away that we're trying to capture here. I did make these playing cards on my Cricut. I just used a type font and then the basic shapes, and found a club, a spade, and a heart, and a diamond. And so I just created the 4 aces. And I know that would be great for a poker card too, but in Pinochle, 4 aces is worth 10 points of meld, so I thought I would stick with that. And then these poinsettias were from Christmas cards that I want to say I did back when we were still in Michigan, so at least 4 Christmases ago, and these are the last of them. I've used them on many projects, but this is it. And then I did cut on the Cricut the same size card out of some of the Comfort and Joy paper, because I thought this green texture was the perfect kind of back for cards. I know sometimes they're blue and red, but especially in Bridge cards, they have more fancier sets, and they have the gold edges around the card. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about, but so I just thought I would try to also have these backs of the cards showing too. So I end up auditioning the papers on here a lot, and I've talked through all of that, so you're not totally going, oh come on, just pick out your placement. But you will get enough of that here as we continue the layout, because I couldn't decide how I wanted these cards. I couldn't decide if on that plaid paper if I wanted to do the banner ends. I do like the playing cards up here in the upper right corner, so that's a keeper. Hallelujah. But now I bring in a whole nother set of cards and I'm trying to figure out that. And then I felt like the poinsettia flower got lost with the beautiful paper behind it, so I didn't want that to happen. And then I realized I needed to bring that black plaid paper up to my little cluster up in the upper right corner. So there's, I don't know, when you scrapbook, if you have like all of these things that go through your head, or if you follow a pattern and it all just comes together. I try to, and I'm trying to do better at it now, take my time when I'm putting these layouts together and put something down and absorb it. Let it sink in of, does this look right? No, I think I need to have some balance. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. This wreath, again, was left over from card projects I did years ago, and I'm cutting it apart to try to sneak it to make it look bigger by hiding it with the poinsettia. And I'm liking how this is coming out. Right now, as I'm viewing this, it looks fine. I like it, but in real life, it just felt it needed more. There was something missing. So I grabbed my stencils, and this is one of the card front stencils, and I'm not going to make you watch me inking all the way through the stencils, but I will show you my reveals each time. So I'm just taking the charcoal ink and I'm trying to have like a center that's darker and faded out to the sides. And I was also trying to avoid any straight edges, but as you saw with the first one, I didn't. So just as I layered those playing cards over each other, I layered the stencil over each other. And I love how this turns out. You add that wreath back over the top of it, and I'll do that later, and it's just great. Now I have been using a lot of these pine boughs. I was at a crop weekend in Gaylord, and there were gals that came down from Chatham, and they let me use their embossing machine and dies with those particular pine boughs. And so I have, these are the last ones I have left. I think I have enough maybe for a couple cards or one more scrapbook layout. To me, it's kind of like the baby's breath in roses. It just adds that filler. It's delicate. It's not too heavy. It doesn't draw your eye, but kind of, helps you focus more onto the roses. So see, now you have that wreath over top of that stenciled background. I'm really enjoying scrapbooking, and I feel the more that I'm doing, the better I'm getting at it, or the more tuned into my style I'm finding. I've always been a technique junkie. I've loved to just learn all the different paper techniques and folding and all of that. And so now I'm kind of trying not to get into any ruts, but also just have fun with it. And I really feel, at least at this particular season or this moment, I have my muse and everything is in a good alignment. And I'll tell you, you probably don't want to hear this, something that I found really is helping me with that is my studio is organized, and I know where my stuff is. I get it out, I do a project, and then I put it away. And then I start the next project kind of with a clean desk, and that mentally has been great for me. So the little journaling I did was half of a card that I had used on another project, and all that it says is that we were at Pat Martino's house and how much fun it was playing cards. I didn't put on this, but I will. I'm going to add a tag kind of behind the cards for a pull-out element. As I was leaving, I put our oldest, he was in a car seat, I want to say a year, maybe a year and a half old, and I put him in the car seat and it was running, and he had the extra set of keys for the car because I had started the car, and then he likes to hold those. So as I got out, he pressed the button to lock the door, and so I had this child locked in a car that was running at Pat Martino's house, and both sets of keys were in the car. So thankfully the locksmith came out. The child was never in danger, but I think that story needs to be told, because even though it's not represented in the photos, it's a part of this particular day that we spent playing cards. Here's some close-ups of the layout. I'm loving, like I said, this. My muse is with me. I'm feeling good about it. So later on, when I don't have the muse, I need to remember how this feels. If you want to connect with me on social media, that's how you can do it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do that now. There's another video that you may be interested in if you can click on that. Otherwise, check out the descriptions in the link below for all the other gals playing along with 14 Days of Christmas. Thanks.